So how's it going, guys, and welcome to a vlog. Today I am back. It's been a while for me. I apologise for lack of content in the past week. It's been a bit of an up and down week for me, and also an up and down week for Millwall in that fact. So if you don't know, today we lost 4-0 at home to Coventry City after a lacklustre performance once again. Unfortunately, it seems to have happened twice this week. We obviously started the week brightly last Saturday, 7 days ago. What a difference a week makes. We beat Shrewsbury 2-1, a superb result. I don't need to go into details of that game because I've kind of missed that point, but we need to really talk about today's game. Obviously, this is a review of that game. We lost on Tuesday, obviously, to Barnsley 2-1, and then today we lost 4-0 to Coventry City. Not a great performance whatsoever. The team itself, I'll have on the screen for you now. It was Ford in goal. We had Cummins right back. At left back was Mark Beavers. In the centre half pairings, we had Tony Craig and Byron Webster. After Webster had a poor game on Tuesday. Again, it was good. I think I would have made the same team as last Saturday, so this is what it was. We had Fred on the right. We had Lee Martin on the left, and in the middle we went for Sean Williams and Ed Upson again, and up front was Steve Morris and Lee Gregory. Obviously Morrison playing 3 games in a row since signing, and same for Gregory. Obviously he didn't play on Tuesday, but there seems to be a bit of a partnership between the two of them, which we didn't really see today. Obviously losing 4-0, we didn't really see anything from us going forward. But to the team itself and what my thoughts were, I mean, you don't change a winning team, so then in the same manner, I'd like to have seen us play the same team on Tuesday. I mean, when you play a team constantly, you get consistency. Harris is trying to strive for a team that's consistent and knows each other's game. However, on Tuesday we chopped it up a little bit and played a few different players like Marquis, Archer. Of course, you need to give them all a chance, and they normally say the time to do that is in the cup. Unfortunately though, today just didn't look like a good performance at all. The game started brightly for us. We was at Coventry from the start, getting at them, and we managed to win a penalty in the 3rd minute. Unfortunately for Lee Gregory, I mean, Steve Morrison missed one on Tuesday, so he wasn't going to put himself forward this time. But after scoring last Saturday, Gregory put himself forward to take it. And last week said he's practiced for hours and hours. But today he went the same direction, a bit more lacklustre this time, and it was towards the middle of the goal, and the keeper saved it. Wasn't the greatest starts for us, as you can imagine. And then minutes later, Adam Armstrong managed to score. Played it was a kind of a ball where it was in the middle of the pitch, nothing was really going on, and he managed to find himself a little bit of space, and from about 30 yards out managed to lob David Ford, who was on about the 10-yard spot. I mean 8 yards. What's the spot on the penalty spot? And unfortunately found Fordy and managed to lob him, and unfortunately that wasn't a good start at all, and he managed to follow on after that. He went 2-0 quickly. Fordy being beat at the near post again. I mean, he's not really been doing himself any favours today, unfortunately, and there's been a lot of stick for him recently. And before you know it, was 3-0. And Armstrong again played on the last line of defence, managed to beat past Webster and Craig, and managed to lob it over Fordy, who was out rushing. Again, not much you can blame for that one. And then the 4th one later in the game, a bit of poor defending, cleared, and it was a couple of times, bounced around the box, and it was a good finish on the near side. And unfortunately, a 4-0 defeat. The game itself wasn't the greatest for us. No players really leave them much credit. Ben Thompson came on and started the second half and managed to give a bit of energy in the team and played the Millwall way, as people say. But apart from that, no one really else left the game with much credit. The team, personally, I would have liked maybe, obviously we got a game on Tuesday, so we got a chance to pull it right. But the team, I would have played the same team as last Saturday, but bear in mind Tuesday, Webster didn't have the greatest game at all and was at fault for both goals against Barnet. Part of me was thinking maybe we should play him to put the faults right, but another part of me is thinking he's not necessarily the greatest defender we have, and I'd like to see Craig and Nelson play at centre back. And after the game today, Harris was quick to say that maybe there's some players that don't know how to play for Millwall. Now, if he's only just realised that, that's partly worrying. He said this is the team he wants to go for, and he chose the starting 11 to stick with, and he thinks this is his best 11. Obviously, Jimmy Abdou is unfortunately injured, and we have been missing Jimmy. I mean, when you play 4-4-2 and you have Ed Upson and Sean Williams in the middle, not necessarily both mobile midfielders, and we have been missing the energy of Jimmy and maybe someone like Nicky Bailey to kind of break up play quite often, in my opinion. But it wasn't the greatest at all, and I mean, Webster, he just doesn't look comfortable on the ball, and he doesn't look comfortable playing at home. I mean, last week at Shrewsbury, he was absolutely fantastic. Him and Tony Craig didn't put a single foot wrong. But every time Byron Webster seems to play at the Den, there just seems to be an extra nerve to his game. Now, I understand he's determined to obviously prove us wrong, because last season under Holloway, he was not the greatest at all. And every time he made a mistake, he was dropped, and he didn't have a good start to his career at Millwall. I remember last season at Reading away when we went 2-0 down really quickly. Holloway was quick to change the team, and he was right to on the night. I mean, he admitted after the game he made the mistakes. I think he went with 3 centre-halves in that game. But it's stuff like that that unfortunately, under Holloway, Webster seems to have tarnished his career for us. And there is a good player in there. I remember with the start of season before last, under Lomas, when we played Yeovil at home, him and Ed Upson were both in the Yeovil side and both played outstanding in the 1-0 victory for them. So it's kind of left us in a situation now where, unfortunately, Webster doesn't seem to be the right answer for Millwall. And me personally, I'd love to see Sid Nelson and Tony Craig at the back. I've kind of alluded to it on 4 or 5 occasions now, and if I was looking for more to Tuesday, I will preview Tuesday personally, but I'd like to see Tony Craig and Sid Nelson at the back. I'd like to see players like Jack Powell maybe given a chance. I'm not sure what Harris has got against Jack Powell, because to me he does seem to have, when he gets the ball, he's quick to pass forward, whereas today Ed Upson and Sean Williams, credit both to them because they're both good players when they're on their day. However, today they were both dreadful, and Sean Williams has not been necessarily the greatest player recently in my opinion, and he's been someone that has often got a bit of abuse from the fans on the social media sites. So I don't know, I mean, I'd be interested to see what you guys think, but me personally, I'd like to see the midfield changed up a little bit. Jimmy Abdou and Aidan O'Brien are supposed to be back in training together, and both could make Tuesday. Now I wouldn't want to rush both of them back. They're big players for us in my opinion. Aidan O'Brien really came back strong in the start of pre-season. He looks a really different player. He's good with the ball at his feet, and I think he's someone that he can be a really good player for us alongside the likes of Morrison if we was to drop Gregory. Gregory, in my opinion, I don't know. I think a lot of people like to want him to do well because he's come from non-league. Last season he had a really tough year. People going on his back, and he finished the season really strongly. Don't get me wrong, but he's not scored many goals for us in open play. Today he had a couple of good chances. He missed from 1 yard out. I don't know how he missed it. Morrison, great work down the right hand side. I mean, it was 3-0 at the time, so not a lot going for us, or it might have been even 4-0. But great work down the right by Morrison, and then it was just across in the box. It was almost going in, I think, and Gregory managed to divert it across goal back to where it came from. So he's not really on top of his form at the minute either. I mean, he didn't have a full pre-season, so that could be part of the matter to it. But I don't know. I'd like to see us change the team up a little bit on Tuesday, and I think Harris has realised that. I'd like to see us play Jimmy if he's fit. I think Sean Williams is a good player, but at the minute he's zapped from confidence. He's not necessarily the player that we bought. Every time he gets the ball, he's not really looking forward to play it forward, and he did in the second half, and he played Gregory through on goal. It was a bit of poor control, and the keeper managed to get to the ball, but it shows what he's capable of if he's given the time and space. But unfortunately, sometimes in League One, when you play against teams that push high up, you don't get the time and space. And credit to I've not really mentioned Coventry, but credit to them today. They were really a superb team. Adam Armstrong really impressing from the front, and causing trouble throughout. His constant runs have been a big problem to us today, and I think it's something that we've got to realise, because with Webster and Craig at the back, they're not necessarily the most mobile, the two of them, and I'd like to see Nelson, because I think Nelson would be able to maybe help a bit more today than Webster did, because he's less static, he's more willing to run with the attacker, and Armstrong's movement was amazing today. So I don't think if Nelson played today it would have been too much of a different story, but a credit to Armstrong. He's a real good player in there, and I think he's a really good coup for Coventry to get in League One. Also, they got impressive midfielders in the team, and they had Reeder Johnson at the back, a bit of experience, and he was a tall centre back. I mean, unfortunately, with our playing style at the minute, it's maybe something for another debate for another day, but I didn't really see a real style to our play. All we kept doing today was being desperate and launching it from the back, whereas I think what Harris wants us to do is either launch it or get it out wide and get it to the wide players. Lee Martin, not impressive, got taken off at half time, not the greatest in the world for him. So it's something to talk about, it's something to debate. It's a good 10-minute video here for you guys, and I hope you did enjoy this little segment review. I'd be intrigued to know what you guys thought. Me personally, I don't know. I'd like to see us change things up for Tuesday night against Barnsley. It's another big game for us. We're at home again. We need a win at home. Obviously, 2 games in a row we've lost at home now. We need the one to follow up on Tuesday. And Barnsley prove a good opposition to play against. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I will have posts later for you later in the week to preview Barnsley. I've alluded to who I'd like to see in the side. I'd like to see what you guys think and also your opinions of the game. So if you went today, let me know what you thought, and also who would you play on Tuesday. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks again. Bye bye.